Very, very good evening. This is Arunava Chaudhuri. You are live on my YouTube channel, Arunfoot. It is Monday, the 22nd of June, 2026. It's another Indian football and more discussion with the FIFA World Cup ongoing, with a lot of things happening in Indian football, or rather not happening in Indian football. I guess that's always worth the conversation. And we will talk about all potential things that are there. And at the start, as I always like to say, if you like the discussion, if you like what we talk about here, please do like, subscribe to the channel as well. We stand at 4,558. So we're moving towards the 5,000 mark, and share it with other people to potentially join us and can become part of the Arun Foot family. And also do watch the short videos that I try and make on a regular basis. And watch those things as well. Did something in regard to a warning to AFF, as a clubs in regard to the so-called OCI slots in the ISL and IFL today. Yesterday, I did something um, regard to not yesterday, regard to the AIFF to FFB renaming. So therefore, there's a lot of these things to look out for, and we'll speak about it. Good evening, Siddharth. Welcome back. If it was a joke serving pro football in a country, they want to change the name. Are they really serious? Orithra, well, seems to be. I mean, I heard it a few days back. Heard it before it was officially put forward to people. And and so therefore, and you know, so therefore, for me, it is something that has been discussed, has been looked at, and yeah, they want to call it Football Federation of Bharat, and that seems to be a priority, which to me is not. It's the same thing as with the national anthem and Vande Mataram. It makes no sense, right? That is something, let's. These are superficial things around football. We're not focusing on the problems, the issues that Indian football faces on a daily basis, and that's the problem. Is Yandanda to Monmouth Supergiant true? However, Yandanda is not going anywhere at the moment. I know that there are certain clubs who are trying to sign him and others as well. There have been some conversations, but nothing, I guess, serious because, again, let the ISL itself be sorted and then we can talk about the players' issues and OCIs and slots. And this point proves to me what I've been saying over the last few weeks when this whole sports passport thing cropped up. And um, that why would I implement an OCI slot in the league if I know that in a few months potentially these players could be playing, you know, for the national team. You know, hi. So a lot happening at the World Cup in Indian football. Yes, Suchit, a lot happening. I mean, you are very close to what's happening at the World Cup, and it's been interesting. Round one has been a lot of surprises. Round two has been, the big ones, the big guns have sort of hit back. So let's wait and see what happens in the coming days and weeks. How came up with the OCI slot idea? Who first talked about this thing? I think it's an idea from Kalyan Chaube and Satya, I think, and maybe Subroto Pal as well. I think that's their way of trying to, get the thing going. And as I've said, to me, it's not the thing that I don't want the OCIs to come to India, because my fear is also that the one or the other will not be as good as they have been in the past, right? I think the standard will not go up. Let's put it this way and put it nicely, right? So was a problem and is a problem. What's up, man? I took United Sports Channel for 10 rupees. Sure, good. Congratulations. I'm fine. I'm just sweating. Got here my sort of a cooling system in the room. It's 30, I don't know, 31, 32 degrees here in Germany. Heat wave might go up to 35, 36, 37, 38 this week. So let's wait and see. This is everyone speaking against AFF. Finally, what I want and love to see. Yeah, Siddharth, it's on one side good, but again, they did need something like this for it to happen. You know, so that would be always my point. And something like this is it didn't need what happened to happen for everyone to realize, something is very, very wrong. Right? That would be my question. Um, and that's the issue that we face at the moment, right? So therefore, for me, it's interesting that this FFB conversation seems to be hitting hard, and I've seen it on Instagram and on Facebook. My post yesterday, which I did from the stadium of SF Viersen yesterday, went quite viral. With how many? Wait 1 second. Where are we now? I think 35,000. No, 41,700 views, 1,010 likes. For someone like me, insane numbers, right? Insane. So yeah, that's where the situation stands. My big question: why would an OSI player want to play at a league of inferior quality, assuming they're playing in the second, third tier of Europe? What you'd like, as with foreigners who come to India, money. Very simple. Ever seen Ashish Negi reply that he has given in his details and episode? I can give you timestamp that is 55:10. I think has been pressurized to move the article that he put about sportsmanship data to PMO regarding OCIPAU. So yes. So the problem is, that people were working on this thing. I've been working on this for 1 year, and unlike as has been sold and told, and again, even Ashish has said that it is a matter of the AIFF. No, it's a matter of the sports ministry. Sports ministry and the Indian Olympic Association have been working on this for close to a year, and therefore, for me, they wanted to get this through, not raise too much of talking points. But again, by putting it out there, the conversations are, people are trying to oppose it, this, and, the usual shebang you have in India and in sports. And it's a problem, right, at the moment as it is. We are 21st from bottom. If you don't get less than 20 in Asia, then we might need to play round one for World Cup qualifiers. Yeah, sure. I mean, I said this. The format is going to change. Said this 6, 7 months ago, that the format in Asia is likely to change. And our drop in ranking in the recent weeks and months is not going to help us, right? It's a very tricky scenario for India, and we need to get out of it. We need to get out of it and need to get into a higher ranking. Arunda, what if OCI players start playing for India, but AFF being AFF coaching staff remains the same and whole support system remains the same? Do you think India's performance will improve? Yes, we know it will improve. Because if these guys come in and they are better, they will pick these guys. Your problem is that people are not realizing is, and that is the sad part. Like when people, and again, I know someone asked this also to Ashish that, I've been sort of fighting for older players and he for younger. I'm not fighting for older players. I'm fighting for the better players. And this has to be understood. And this is the craziest thing, that it seems to be that, that people don't want to understand that our under 23s are not ready for this level. I see people saying, oh, ISL clubs are not giving a chance. No. I go back to what I've said in the past. A player, if he wants to be part of the national team, has to prove that he is good enough to play for the national team. But I am also not fine with all the choices that Khalid is making. Again, someone the other day explained, oh, you know what? These guys set up the goal. Paramveer, Mohammed Sanan, and who was the third one? I don't even know who the third one was. Nice. So as per then their logic, Farooq Chaudhary scored a goal. So then Farooq Chaudhary should be playing, right? No. So therefore, for me, the problem with all of these reactions, conversations is, um, do you understand? And this is the main thing, you know? And our problem is, at the end of the day, that people don't realize it has become very, very easy, especially towards the end of Eco's team, which is Rain and under Manolo, and now under Khalid, for people to play for the national team. Danish Farooq never should have played for India, sorry. Farooq Chaudhary doesn't make it. But those ones who are people are saying, hey, McCarthy got his chances, you know? So that's reality. Germany, Japan performance. Yeah, Sumit has been, again, Germany wasn't perfect, but again, they got the results. So I think that is what counts for Germany at the moment. So very, very important for us. 1 second. Sorry, in this weather, allergies come out. Now that the AIFF election is coming, Kalyan Chawla has become serious about those over everything would stop again. No, Kalyan Chaubey and OCI is not, it's not about Kalyan Chaubey and OCIs. It's about Indian sports, Pritam, and OCIs. This has to be understood that it is not about Kalyan Chaubey or the FF. It's about Indian sports, the Indian Olympic Association, as well as the sports ministry. They all want this, and it will happen now. Except if you know people who then, in my opinion, are not in the interest of Indian football or Indian sports will try and block it. That has to be said. AFC has changed its calendar as well from October to March has been shifted. I'm talking about round one qualifiers. God forbid what will happen if we get knocked out in round one. Sure, it can happen. We are, we are, there are teams behind us who can beat us. So that's the reality. This Kalyan Chawla regime needs to be voted out in the next election. Then nothing good for the Indian football or improvement grassroots. So, yeah. But again, who's going to do that? Right? The AIFF bodies have not stood up and done things where it's say, stand up for your own good. They haven't done that. So that's also a reality. I went to the Philly Stadium a day before the Brazil-Haiti game. No supporters there, but huge turnout in the nearby baseball stadium for an MLB game. Match day, however, it was colorful even for us before kickoff. Uchut, again, you live in the US, so you could tell us more about how it is different than us. How do you rate Mamouche and Salah performance today? And even those two are the best attacking players of their country. Mohamed Salah, most probably one of the best African attacking players in history. So, yeah, they were good. Malaysia have already sacked many technical directors. When is India going to do? Well, we don't sack people. That's part of the problem. Recently, I've been seeing posts on Twitter against your U23 player stance. They have labeled you as an AFF propaganda peddler. Hannibal, I don't care. Let them say. These are ignorant people. As I said, Ashish said the same thing, right? I'm fine. Ashish and I don't need to agree on everything. Ashish and all these people need to understand that our players mature at an older age. If you're unable to be a regular in the Super League, okay, well, if you're talking Mohamed Sohail, why are we not talking about Mohamed Kipken? So for me is are we willing to look at players independent of their age and capabilities? As I said, I would have loved Ayush Chetri and McCarthy to play for the national team. Both have failed. Right? I saw Mohamed Sanan against Zimbabwe as a substitute. He was not able to play. Right? And then if people say, oh, one situation, hey, listen, he played against Tajikistan. He is not ready for that level. And this is not about experience. No, he's not ready for that level. So my question is, do these people understand that I have to be of a certain level to represent India? And I tell you, my favorite example at the moment is Bijoy Varghese. I remember watching Bijoy play for the reserve team of Kerala Blasters 4 years ago. I was doing commentary for the Kerala Premier League. He wasn't that great, very honestly, not that good. In the B team of the Blasters, look at where he stands today, right? And he has improved leaps and bounds. That is what you need from the player, right? For me, that is where, um, where our players need to grow, right? And that's the problem that Bijoy is growing at an old age. And why am I saying so? Because Bijoy is now 26. At 22, 23, Bijoy was nowhere near the national team. And let's see. Let's see what happens. But those are my at the moment favorite examples of saying, these we can figure out. But if you're saying, oh, the under 23s are these and the under 23 are that, well, why? Again, as I say, we can speak about Mohamed Sale. I liked Mohamed Sale last year, but he's not improved, right? And if I'm going to talk about Manglanthang Kipgen, who has played for the Indian juniors in the past, also quite well actually. Um, maybe Kipken is the one. 21 now. Maybe he's getting better. So therefore, for me, that's the challenge with the players. We have to use ASEAN South Cup for ranking mix. Yeah, let's see. If you remember, sir, when our rank was 96, we played against Puerto Rico and New Zealand. Sapit Singh as we played Mumbai. It was simple because of our ranks. If someone managed to play well, then we might actually playing in better opposition. Sure, we are playing better opposition even without this whole ranking thing. Just think about the Unity Cup. We played Jamaica and we played Zimbabwe. And watching Zimbabwe, again, Zimbabwe is ranked 130, right? Um, and we were 136 at the time. And but Zimbabwe was way better than those six spots, right? So those ranking things is right. Hey, the Waves, welcome back. The older players is a pure Indian mentality with advancement in sports science. There are scores of 30 plus players performing across all sports. Yeah, also that's also very true. Very, very true point. Heard anything about Mumbai City FC? No rumors at all. Do you think Peter is going to stay at the club? What's your opinion on Mumbai City FC coach? Peter, someone new, time for a change. The Vapes, Mumbai City, like most clubs, are waiting for a final decision on the ISL, which has not been taken by the AIFF, right? With all the talks and conversations that supposedly happened, that was not discussed in that special general body meeting. So yeah, so therefore, yeah, those are some realities at the moment, and we'll have to wait and see. And Kratky surely is someone that Mumbai City might be looking to retain, but we'll have to wait and see what the club does. Who are the players that they sign or retain? But again, there are a lot of players on the market at the moment. So I think Mumbai City, if they're willing to spend, depending on also what the club wants to spend, because the club spent wisely last season. Mumbai City were very close to lifting the title. So let's see. Let's see what happens. It's also not going to happen. That's why OCI quota is in ISL. No, it's going to happen. Imagine Japan as a German man. Good, Hannibal. I see a lot of Japanese now. I see a lot of Japanese players also at the low levels here in Germany, and the Japanese are well-educated football players. Even if Pierre comes to play in ISL, how much time will it take to get relationship? Is it 1 year? No. Normally it's 5 years. Again, if you can fast track it, maybe faster. It depends on who's going to help, right? So therefore, that thing doesn't change. I love Pratki, but I'm not sure if he has the dressing room. Seem to have lost it in 2024 for a season for sure, and the manager stuck by in 2000 because of budgetary reasons. He came to Mumbai City through CFG. CFG was open back in the system. I don't think they should abandon him. Daves, I don't know what the situation happens with Kratky. As I said, CFG could, CFG might not. But yeah, maybe depending on what happens, maybe it's time for a new coach. But the question is, with given all the realities, maybe someone who knows Indian, the situation might be better to coach the team. I hope Jingan doesn't join Mumbai City. Saw this rumor next. Let's see, Vapes. Let's see. My aim is this time around for World Cup qualifiers is going to be works hard and get into round three because it also puts us directly into AFC Asian Cup. Shwam, we have to get into the second round first, I think. That might be a question, right? National team playing in July? No. Animal, there are from now, from the July season worldwide onwards, going to be four instead of five windows. So we'll have the March, the June, September, October is then one longer window with up to four internationals, and the November window. So therefore, there are no matches normally in July or August. Also, know what if it is with you and Ronaldo holding Portugal back of being a liability was amazing Nations League and who apart from Gonzalo Ramos, I think Ronaldo is better. The Webs, again, we don't need to agree, but if you talk to people who understand Portuguese football, they will not say publicly, but they will tell you that they feel Ronaldo is a problem, and not only just on the playing field, but also in the dressing room, right? And that has been hinted also by some people around the team. So this the Portuguese have a legend problem, right? In Argentina, everyone's rallying around Messi. Ronaldo is a different character, right? So therefore, that's also a problem that has been said by multiple people in Portugal. Sorry. Hi, Shravan. I am overall fine, but again, my allergy is a little bit the nose. Running nose a little bit due to allergies and heat over here in Germany. Yeah, so I have to sort of live with that, but otherwise, I am doing fine. And at this stage, once quickly, 20 plus minutes on the clock. If you haven't, do like, share, and subscribe. Arun Foot here on YouTube. Yeah, without your support, the channel can't grow, and it needs your help. And to 4,559 is the current number of subscribers. Thank you, whoever is new, and help grow the channel, help grow the community. Again, it helps. And thank you very much as always. If we get into 140th rank, then there are serious chances of us getting a tough draw, which will focus our team down to itself. Sure, we're going to get a tough draw anyway, right? I don't see us gaining enough points in the next two two windows to move up. Changing the name from AIFF to FFB. Let's see. Again, if you have seen the window, my video, yeah, that is something that the AIFF is considering of doing. I hope not, but it is something which is being looked at the moment by the AIFF. It seems like when you have a football match at the Eastbourne Ground a day before an IPL Test match at England's Philly Stadium is part of a complex with basketball and baseball stats. That's this World Cup stadium, anyway, football stadium. Ochud, look at and Nacho Soccer Stadium in Philadelphia is Subaru Stadium, home of women's side Philadelphia and base of Ivory Coast. The problem is of all of this is, Ochud, and you saw that in New York. I mean, Brazil, Morocco were playing, and the people were not really bothered about Brazil, Morocco, right? So those are some of the realities. I think that football is grappling itself with realizing, facing in North America, it's different, right? So a different world of sports. If Khalid doesn't get sacked by August, then there's no chance of him getting away until his contract runs out. Bro, there is no move at the moment to sack him, sadly, right? And there's no attempt of him to say, uh, you know, um, uh, from him resigning. Good evening, Dark Knight. Welcome back. Are you from Northern? Yes, Northern Westphalia, NRW State, Anuman. Guten Abend. Don't you think that making OSA mandatory will cause OSA players to inflate their salaries instead of mandatory OSA making optional? The OSA players who sign should be considered an Indian. Zoravar, I think the OCI salary is a topic because some of them, the higher profile ones, who are the ones that the club seem to have looked at, and to me, those ones are going to be pricey anyway. You have to think about that. Your OCIs are going to be priced like your foreigners. So therefore, that is a conversation which is very interesting to see what happens. But to me, um, yeah, it's not easy, and we don't have the mass of OCIs who I think could come in. I said watch my video, which I did today. But to me, for example, a problem is, do we actually have, let's say, 14 OCIs to come in? The club's even suggesting a 1+1, where they could have one OCI playing and one in the squad, meaning two. I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. If we have to play in round one and by chance we get Pakistan or Bangladesh, who will be in pot two, then our journey will go over March 2027. Yeah, sure. Pakistan, Bangladesh, there are loads of teams. The way we're playing at the moment, it's going to be difficult. So, what's the players playing? I said, does it affect in the playing form? I fear it could, yes. That's why I've said this in the past. I don't want OCS to come and play here. I want them to play in Europe or North America, even if it's lower level football. They play high level. Zabir Gota doing, I was playing in Frankfurt. Yes, Hannibal. Happy Gold was playing at Arunava Frankfurt reserve team, B team. He came through the academy, had a serious injury, and had to sit out the whole season. Let's see if he signs somewhere in the summer. Sorry, till now I've neglected Oceania. Suddenly its utmost requirement as a race that Indian football keep going downhill otherwise. No, it's not. Zoravar, that is something which is not true. That this current AFF has looked at it at multiple ways, be it in the time of Shaji, being secretary, or now under Satya, or even under Anil, under Steamach, Manolo, even now. So that's not true. They knew what was happening. So let's see. Your finalists for World Cup. Okay. Hi, Blue. Welcome back. Curacao defeated India 3-1. Kings up just 3 hours. Now they score 5 against us easily. Maybe, maybe not. Uchut, yes. Also, Curacao today is stronger than it was, in those competitions. But it was not 3 years ago. Curacao defeated India in 2019. First coaching assignment for a certain Igor Stimac at the time with India. Hi, Stephen. Yes, overall fine. I don't know how the situation is in England, but here in Germany, it's sweltering hot, and um, and my allergies. Your opinion of the striker rule is weird. What is definition of it? And OCI rule seems idiotic. No, you've explained it. OCI thing, I don't know if it's the right thing, right? I won't do it. But I also said in my video today, it's like 20 years ago they tried it and it didn't work. And the striker rule, define me what is a striker then? Yeah. And is then Liston Colasso, Changte, other than Bipin, other than wingers or strikers? Define me what a striker is. Because I will then always say I'll play 4-3-3. And who's sitting there to saying, oh, listen, you're not playing a striker? It doesn't make sense, right? And the thing is, our strikers are, again, you have to be, I say this with all players. If a foreign coach um, is not giving you the opportunity because he doesn't see you, rate you. And yeah, so therefore for me, it, if you're not better, and again, we've done it now in I League 2, local league, football has not grown in those, you know. The only one that I really think that has made his way from I League 2 to the ISL is Irfan Yadwar. Again, and that will be a guy that a lot of people then won't rate as well. I also have this kind of allergy. It always hampers my health. Yeah, it's a reality. After independent sports passport thing and does insane sports and whatever, will be able to get the big hosting. Carnival, I don't know. I don't know where you see the insane sports infra development. That's another thing. To me, the point is, uh, look at it on my Insta. I posted the story that DW did today regarding Germany 2036. I think Germany is better prepared for that. Qatar, Turkey, Mexico, there's some very, very strong bids, and India needs to get itself ready. And again, one of the things is the sports passport, right? And India needs more medals in 2028 in LA. Dylan Patel, Benfica under 21, Mason, Wolves, and Zach Real Sociedad, some of the upcoming top PIO talents. Let's see what they do. What I've said earlier, even with limited popularity, almost every MLS game is house full. That's great, no? The MLS is used to go into these big stadiums and not many people used to watch them. And now it seems like they have sort of figured out to play in more fitting venues in size and have football specific venues, and that seems to have helped. The clubs are against those rule. Can they stop it? Well, let's see. They're not against it, right? Um, they wanted a little different, no? So let's wait and see. I don't know. I honestly don't know. Sorry. So the problem is with this whole constitutional thing is, um, who's running the ISL and how. So for me, uh, you know, so for me, that's the big question. There was a certain plan which took us from 175th rank to 96th rank, all credit to Abhishek Yadav, Chirag Tanna, and Praful Patel. You forget the main man. The main man was a certain Stephen Constantine, right? It was Stephen's idea, which these guys implemented. Very true. Chirag, Abhishek uh, pushed it. Mr. Patel at the top, Kushal Das as well. But yeah, were we 96th? That's the question. We're 172 to 96, yeah. Any chance Rahul Kumar will play for India? I saw news he's going to get call up for operation team. I don't see that happening for us. No, he's too good. Hey Roshan, I saw your video today. You think an official quota like foreign quota would help? I agree. This was rule should be limited to ISL. I'm not a quota fan, right? And my question is if these guys are going to come under the sports passport, uh, you know, and so very difficult. Again, we have to wait and see. There's a lot happening. Yeah. Manpreet Zakaria played one match for Austria in European qualifiers for India. Hannibal, as per FIFA rules, no. He's played only once, so that could be argued. And maybe a FIFA players tribunal would look at it and say, you know what, maybe would give Manpreet a pass and allow him to play for India. But normally, if you've played an official game for a country, so we had this topic with Harmanpreet, not Harmanpreet, sorry, um, Harmeet Singh in Norway. No, Harmeet played three friendlies for Norway and theoretically would have been eligible for us. Are you involved in implementing OCR rule? Roshan, I'm talking to people at IOA level about certain things. So am I involved? I wouldn't say so. And yeah, so that's the reality. Bangladesh have already started involving their foreign origin players in youth level and started their development involvement in Bangladesh football. Yeah, so they're way ahead of us. In your video this morning, it sounded like this. As I said, with IOAs, because I'm speaking to them about handball, we've also spoken about this as well. So yes, we've spoken about it surely. Was happened good before the injury? How good have you ever talked to him? We've spoken, and surely would have been, even though playing only Regionalliga, but that surely would have been good enough to play for us. Yes. Why joining Northeast is the best decision he's taken? No, I think the best decision for him would have been to stay at Northeast United. Sorry, at Punjab FC maybe another year. I would have said to before moving. With 37 degrees on Wednesday, tomorrow 34. Yeah, yeah. Hi Turbo, welcome back. Is there anything about to say for the women's team? Sham, nothing. Everybody mocks us with 1.4 billion tag, but we are not using our population much at PAO. Even China is struggling to get origin players, natural players in CSL. Yeah. With the news, Bosma also will be hesitant giving up their citizenship plus playing in India for multiple years will degrade their qualities. As I said, they need to play multiple years in India to get citizenship. Very, very true. Sorry. Indian football always finds news lows, sadly. Passport will be really deep because this role is for the Olympics. Exactly, Seven. So that's the point. We are not talking football. We are talking Indian sports. So for me, it is not a question of if India wants to host the Olympics. So let's be very clear. If India wants to host the Olympics, they will have to implement this. If they don't implement the origin rule, it's not going to happen. So for me, that's going to be very, very clear, and that's going to be very interesting to see. Today prediction. Two interesting games. Argentina, Austria. I rate the Austrians, and Austrians a lot, and I think that's a real test for Argentina. Actually, I would like the Austrians to win because I like the way that Ralf Rangnick plays his football. The thoughts behind it. Question is if Austria is up to that mark and can do it. I think big test the other day, and they not only survived against Jordan, but they turned it around. So let's wait and see. And then, of course, later on, France against Iraq. Yeah, I think if the French do a little bit of what they're capable of doing, could be a very dangerous evening for the Iraqis. Then later on, Norway versus Senegal. Senegal, supposedly problems within the team. Non-payments of player dues. I think we've heard about things like that. Norway in a flow, very dangerous. And then Jordan versus Algeria, where normally, Algeria would have been my pick, but what Algeria played the other day against Argentina, what Jordan played, who knows? What happens if we lose all our ASEAN games and South games as well? It sure puts us in round one. Yeah, yeah. Wrong. If we lose all our games, we're out. What's this Formula national anthem song thing? It's weird, Blue. It makes no sense because if you're going to play it at AIFF competitions, which are grounds where you don't even have sort of sound systems, you have to create sound systems to be able to play it off. And it makes, sorry, in my opinion, it makes no sense to do it, right? So that's a part of the problem that I see within the all these ideas being implemented. What should be the ideal combination of Indian team given limited talent? I don't know what the ideal combination or is. There is no ideal combination. Ideal combination is to pick the best players, whoever they are. Say, where do you see India rank if you continue playing lazy football? I don't know. Could go down 150 or something. You're working with AIFF regarding this OSI matter? No, Zorawar, I'm not. I said IOAM. They're talking to me. Let's put it this way. I'm not working on it, but I'm talking to them. I'm missing this OCI discussion of including OCI coaches or OCI people having experience in sports governance. Yeah, Roshan. The sports governance people, the respect has never been there, and I know that for a fact. I want you and Ashish to a podcast. We'll have 1 million views. Sure, we will surely do one, but maybe background stuff. Yes. Conrad Lima versus Messi. Yeah. Connie Lima versus Lionel Messi should be very interesting. Sorry. Some local academies are against PIO, but I'm damn sure ISL clubs want PIO to reduce Indian players' inflation so that these local academies can't go against ISL clubs, especially more money is being got. I don't know how you know that. Um, but yeah, the PIOs are not going to be, or OCIs rather, um, that 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 they are of a level of quality um, that is different, right? So therefore, that's a given, and yeah. So therefore, for me, um, let's see. Heard about Rahul Kumar 2 years ago, 20, and then forgot about him. Is he really too good for us? 100%. If Croatia is looking at him, um, the boy is already playing. I mean, he's 1 meter 91. He's a center back. He's playing at Enka Istra, I think, and his contract has been extended early this year to 2030. He's a regular for the Croatian juniors. He's playing for the under 19s. Yeah, he's going to make this move maybe the summer itself. Your opinion regarding Curacao drawing against Uruguay? It just shows these countries, even these smaller countries, covered Curacao, have a certain level of potential. Hi Raj, welcome back. What Indian Wrestling Federation from 2000 we had zero development said there's no South wrestlers. It seems UP Haryana sports sadly. Selvan, I sadly don't know enough about wrestling to be able to comment on it. Now apparently our youth teams gets around 14, 20 matches in the youth 13, 15 leagues. Is the number enough for opinion? How does the numbers compare to your country, Germany, for example? Oh, the question is, what are you getting matches? Are you only playing at the national level? Are you playing at your local level? How you're playing, where you're playing, who you're playing? Also, those are questions. Here, though, the kids, we have leagues, right? So if you have a top league, on lower leagues across the board, across age groups, um, that also exists for the kids. So the kids are playing how much? 35, 40 matches with friendlies involved a season, maybe more than that. We call for the World Cup because they have arranged to Football Federation Bharat. They can't do anything beyond this. I think it will make us go for World Cup opponents. Nice one, Shanlata. Match result shocker or opponent punching off their weight. Of course, it's a shocker. Uruguay held by them. Yeah. There's this one more kid, Anand Batra from Fulham 18 carries, got a lot of goals, but maybe we should not hype him so much until I never hype none of them. So tell me why we feel off so bad after 23 AFC Asian Cup. We didn't. Even the AFC Asian Cup 2023 wasn't good because we in 2023 people think that we were this, we were that, and we weren't. I saw some national team players suddenly love for grassroots. You know who I'm talking, and these people are scared that Theo will take their place. No, I don't think so. What do you think the players who are playing in abroad, whether to pay to play, but they're getting much more competition? I said, no. Yeah. But again, they're not good enough. Unless you can arrange some can arrange one. Or theoretically, yes. So goodbye. It's time to watch Austria's Argentina. Good night. Yeah, yeah. You might watch that, but if you want to stay around, guys, stay around. We'll talk on the side about Argentina versus Austria. But again, let me quickly clear my nose. I'll just be back in a minute. One second. Yeah. So, same reason for spreading these unnecessary things like Gandana at home. This level not knowing those things, that's bad. Yeah, but see, we've been seeing this now for a while. That people are putting out these kind of infos, and did anyone check these infos or not? And yeah, realities, right? As Argentina versus Austria is off to a start. Are these local campaigns so powerful to lobby Indian government against PIO? No, Seven. I don't think so. The government has to do this. But again, the lobby that they have on social media will tell you stories and, this is working, that is working, this is happening, that is happening. Again, all these people will tell you stories, and it will be interesting to see if they can do something. I don't think it will. Is it true India was invited to Copa America to participate? No, Richard. Not that I know of. The government is investing a lot in Olympics, but aren't they aware that football is global and most fans follow sports in the world? No, they don't. They don't care about football. With more number of matches in a Olympics, is it equally important to have competitiveness and quality coaching? Yes. Yes, that will be very important as well. But the question is, the coaching level is in my opinion, the biggest problem the Indian football faces today, and nobody wants to talk about it. And yeah, and that's the real problem, right? And quickly, before I continue, as Argentina trying to play in their backline and Austria trying to pressure them the Ralf Rangnick way. Argentina tries to play itself through. Argentina starts off with Emi Martinez in goal, Molina, Romero, Lisandro Martinez and Medina in defense, Rodrigo de Paul, McAllister, Fernandez, Almeida in midfield with Lionel Messi and Lautaro Martinez up front, while Alexander Schlager in goal for Austria, Posch, Danso, David Alaba, Konrad Leimer in defense. So Leimer playing as a left back. Seiwald, Xaver Schlager in defensive midfield. Romano Schmid, Paul Wanner, and Marcel Sabitzer in the attacking positions, and Michael Grigoric up front. So that's an interesting one. Some changes with Marko Naudovic, of course, who got his goal the other day. Chuku Omeka, Marco Friedl, Florian Grilic, Sasha Kalajdzic, Philipp Lienhardt, Lubicic, Philipp Mwene, Pence, Alexander Prass, Alex Schöpf, Svoboda, Wiegele, and Patrick Wimmer on the bench for Austria. Argentina have Julian Alvarez, Barco, Nico Gonzalez, Le Kelso, Lopez, Montiel, Musso, Nicolas Otamendi, Palacios, Uta Paredes, Nico Paz, but really Senesi, Gimoni, and Tagliafico. So very interesting to see. Right, sorry. Argentina played through, and Alaba can't clear his lines. And with Lima, referee allows play on. Now, how can we improve the number of competitive matches in the youth league so that the kids get enough matches throughout the year? Toba, the question is not about competitive matches. It's just increasing matches. I think at local level, it needs to happen, right? So that's the thing that we need to talk about. Lautaro Martinez on the ground. Why Indian elites takes pleasure in having exclusive sports club or gymkhana. This is the sole reason for sporting development in almost every sport. Why? Seven, to me, why wouldn't they not? Why, a tennis club, even here in the West, would be something, let's say, elitist. A golf club would be elitist in a formal way. Those are realities, right? Sorry. So for me, Sava Schlager, great clearance against Lautaro Martinez. Martinez walking off after treatment. So therefore, for me, I don't know if that's the fault. Again, Indian elites, um, these are social clubs. Don't see them as sporting things. I think that the sports is a byproduct. I don't think at a gymkhana, the sports is your priority. You know, you know. So um, yeah. So that's something that has to be kept in mind, in my opinion. Marcus Zakaria still can play for India, right? I think less than 3 international matches, which is right. Later, he's played an official match, and normally no. AFC Asian Cup will happen on to match international football calendar. Yeah, likely Dark Night, yes. What's the deadline for 2036 Olympics? Um, for selection that way, and what the sport will be implemented. Possible penalty check, and the referee's having a look at it. Okay, interesting. I thought the ball was clearly played by the Austrians. Very weird. Yeah, Savaschlager clears the ball. So where's your penalty? Where's even the discussion of a penalty? Sorry, guys. I see Posh in the background, yes. But Savaschlager clears the ball. He's giving a penalty. Incredible. Incredible. How can you give a penalty for this? How can you even think of giving a penalty for something like this? Where, to me, there's a clear contact. Martinez touch on the ball. Yeah, Posh does the touch, but Shava clears the ball. Savaschlager clears the ball. Um, to me, not a penalty. Sorry. I will Popper Chandigarh lobby. No, he's not. In Chandigarh, he doesn't have a lobby. How was yesterday's match, Iran Belgium? Aman, I didn't watch. Sorry, so I can't say. Isn't Karen because Pierre? I saw him in one Brighton friendly match coming after Mitoma as sub. Yep, he is also another one. Penalty for Argentina. Let's see. Messi to take the penalty. And with if he scores, he becomes the highest scorer. And he misses! Lionel Messi misses the penalty against Austria. And if there is a football god, and that's a bad penalty. That's a bad, bad penalty from Lionel Messi. Wow. Wow. Okay. Personally, I hope this mandatory OCA rule doesn't become true. Even Bangladeshi football fans are making fun of this AIFF rule, saying that imagine how this will be coming and playing in Bangladesh, represent them internationally. Yeah. Again, as I said, I don't think this, this is what it is, but to me, it makes no sense. Yeah, they can't. Or if the World Cup is rigged for Argentina. Looks like it. What? Yeah. Messi misses. It's no. Yeah. Sharnata, Lionel Messi misses. As much as I love him, but this whole thing around him is gotten too much, I feel. This whole circus around him and his, playing, it's not helping football, I think. Very true. And to me, Austria is one of those teams at this group stage with the potential of players, a lot of players playing in the Bundesliga. Um, and to me, this was not a penalty, if you ask me. If you ask me honestly, it's not enough because the Austrians have a touch on the ball. So, yeah. Yeah, interesting. This is FIFA. I don't know if FIFA. There are certain questions that can be asked, right? And interesting. Yeah. Messi missing a penalty. Is this the night that Austria could surprise Messi and his team? Will be very interesting to see if Austria could be the team to surprise Messi and the Albi Celeste. Messi to Bayern Munich? No, never gonna happen. So many decisions favor them. Yeah, so many decisions. Gregorich lost his shoe. Well, wants a card for his opponent. Oh yeah, there's no chance to get to the ball. Lisandro Martinez, yeah, should be talking. Doesn't have Germany against Ivory Coast. Dark Knight, 100%. But how substitution should come in and come into play, right? If you can use your substitutes well, Dennis Undaf and Nadim Amiri, great story regarding those two players, coming in and setting up the goal and scoring. Nadim Amiri, of course, former Afghan refugee kid, sorry. And on the other side, David Alaba with the free kick for Austria now in behalf of the Argentinians. Oh, is Alaba going to be crazy enough to go direct? No, I don't think so. He'll chip it. Yeah, Jerovic and Danso being pushed. The Austrians have a height advantage. Interesting to see. Sorry. Free kick Alaba. Goes to Danso. I head it out. Back with the Austrians. Kevin Danso. Keeping it in their lines. Yeah, done well by the Austrians. In the danger, no one is there. But the Austrians are trying to play in the Argentine half, yeah. If Japan Brazil comes in knockout, who do you think moves forward? If you ask me that way, I would favor Japan. I would favor Japan over Brazil at the moment. A young talent named Anand now playing for Boston U17. Vibe Tech Town is a great possible wants to represent if possible future talented player. Hitesh, again, Boston under 17, Vibertech Town is a club which or academy or whatever it is I've never heard of. Right. So again, l- a lot of kids are putting it out there into the public domain. Hey, you know what? I play football here or there, and I would love to represent India, which is great on one side. But on the other side, do we know if they're good enough or not? So therefore, stop hyping players, especially those youth boys. Um, it's not helping, right? And it's not helping the cause. Finance demand VAR in Indian football think it will make everything fair. They forgot that VAR is operated by humans as well. My sayings, rather, and your problem is that those Indian referees, um, um, that the VR decisions, and we've seen, free kick for Austria, just outside of the box. That we have the whole decision, Paul Vanna goes down. VR decisions in the sense of saying um, that, yeah, there are a lot of disputed things. I mean, that VR is even discussing this and gives Argentina a penalty. For me, is already a mistake, right? VR is supposed to be if the referee does a massive mistake. This to me wasn't a mistake, right? Marcel Sabitzer and Paul Wanner over the ball. Before I answer the next one, Tiger Rich stands one head taller than all the Argentinians. Sabitzer to take it directly to. Oh, that wasn't a good free kick. And Argentina easily able to clear. The Austrians win the ball back. Somehow or the other, the Argentinians now able to clear their lines, but Austria physically playing out the Argentinians. Interesting. Gregovic, head taller than all of them. Alaba on the on the left, yeah, couldn't do anything. Right. Hitesh Swami, there is also an Ajay Matthews in Middlesbrough Academy. There's so many. Zorawa, there are tons of those young players. Let's let them break through at senior level and then we can talk about them. I was 20 played England at U17 or 18 level. There are many desperate players, so no need to name them. Yeah, exactly. And a lot of them are trying to gain attention on social media, and it's not helping our football, and that's the real problem. And that's where we stand at the moment, right? So we have to be honest enough to say, you know what? Yes, we have a lot of players. We have a lot of potential players for India in the future, but we'll have to wait and see if and how they get through the system, right? So that's a reality. You take a sip. Sorry. So therefore, those are some of the things that we need. If we dig deep, if we really dig deep, we will have about 200 plus players of origin. You know, um, so therefore the question is who is eligible. So let's wait and see what happens, right? Sorry, Austria putting pressure on Mano Schmid, but that ball will not be kept in. Yeah, that's Garant, right. Thomas, Floyd, both parents are Indian. Yeah, and it just says Shannon is the best bet now after Ryan Williams. Peter, I think so. I think Shan is someone that wants to play for us, um, has a proven track record, and he's not said it since yesterday. So it's not something that, oh, you know what, I said it the other day, and I want to play for India. But Shan has been very, very clear about this, and so to me, yeah, it's it's something that has to be looked at, right? So yeah, it's very, very interesting to see. We're closing in on the hour mark as Argentina Austria is goalless. Um, um, and if you haven't, do like, do share, do subscribe to Arun Foot here on YouTube. Watch my short videos as well. Because without your support, this channel cannot grow. So I need your support, your backing to be able to grow the channel. 17 likes so far on this video. Thank you very much. And yeah, share it potentially with other people as well so that they can also join the party here on Arun Foot. And we are at 4,560 today. So thank you very much to the new ones who joined in, become part of the Arun Foot family. And if you haven't, do watch my short videos. Did something today, of course, on the one of my warnings, I would say, in regard to OCIs, PIOs, um, and um, and also in regard to AIFF wants to rename itself to FFB yesterday, which I found very, very weird. So therefore, do watch it as well. I did something on the ISL and changes coming on football. Is cricket at fault? Something that was also discussed. Oh, chance maybe for the Argentinians and a great save by keeper Schlager. Lionel Messi could have put it in. So let's see. Is the news of Mohamed Subhair actively pursuing Amnanda true? However, they might have put out feelers for him. Are they actively pursuing him? I think even Jan knows. Let's things sort itself out. If the sports pathway gets implemented, considering that Matip High Court was able to play for us, will Shan Hunde be good enough for us then? I think yes. Yeah. Shan is good enough. Yeah. So Hannibal, players like Shan are the ones that I would like to see play for us in the long run because that's the level of quality that I would like to see in our team. And Shan is someone, we need a striker. So we will hopefully he can make it in the long run. One female rugby player managed to get job in Bihar police through rugby. Now Bihar is top performing state in rugby. Imagine Indian player can transform the Indian football like Hamza did. Seven, yeah, that's the hope. As you say, to me, again, there is a lot of things that we need to look at, think about. But yeah, it's possible. It is possible. But again, yes, as you say, we need a Hamza Chaudhuri moment, right? Indian football needs its Hamza Chaudhuri moment where Indian football suddenly grows exponentially. And I would love to see that, right? And not only we all would love to see that, right? So we are here for Indian football. So let's see what happens. Yeah, very open game in the first 20 minutes between these two, with patches in favor of Argentina and then patches in favor of Austria. A lot of physicality in the game. Oh, and Konrad Leimer down. Yeah, referee is not. Again, some of these referees have not been up to the mark. I felt this also when Germany versus um, Ivory Coast. The referee to me was not up to the mark, and the Ivory Coast goalkeeper got away with a lot of play acting. And uh, yeah, let's see. So what happens? Can you please check Thomas Vevlot's stat? He's only top talent who falls in football said that he wants to again. If these kids are saying that they want to represent India, it's great, but that's not the question. Don't at the moment let these boys play, and if they don't play and we reach higher levels, they'll be scouted. Not a problem, right? So therefore, that's the point. And Lakshmikant and Shan as a striking duo. Yeah, who knows? India needs some playmakers. Also, India's been lacking a playmaker for decades. No, I don't think we have been lacking a playmaker for decades. We had in the last decade, we had Yudzinson Lingdo, a good playmaker in his own rights. Even Brandon, so so therefore, I don't think that for decades India's been lacking a playmaker. If Surf votes passport allow, will we play 11 OCI players? We could, right? Theoretically, we could. I don't know. I don't know. You don't know how this composition will be, what will happen, and what we're going to do. And the idea is to figure out who is best suited to play for us, right? Chance for Austria. Posh with the cross. And then attempt from Sabitzer, blocked by the Argentinians. And so therefore, yeah, that's the thing. Do you consider Brandon using an Asian level quality playmakers? No. Robert, tell me anyone who's Asian level. So this Asian level conversation, we don't have Asian level players, right? So for me, it's something which is a reality of things. And yeah, we have to live with that reality. I think Yandanda tomorrow is a rumor because Abdul Samad, Rubini, and Miguel are in that position for them. Hitesh, I don't know. What's your opinion on 3-minute hydration breaks? Ayush, can be discussed. From football perspective, it's an interesting one because we've seen now a lot of matches in which the game seems to change, right? We've been having these so-called hydration breaks in shorter forms in the ISL with that 1 minute, which again happens a little later in the game. So the football game now is sort of split into 4 quarters, right? Rather than into 2 halves. And I think from coaches for the players, again, I know a lot of people have complained about it being used in Indian football. I think it will stay. And it's also commercially makes sense because it allows TV channels to have 2 additional ad breaks in their shows of or their live coverage of football. And football or sports per se is about advertisers getting their due share. And from that perspective, I think, again, from a football perspective, I would say, listen, just play 45 minutes and just get on with the game. But if I look at it also from a different perspectives, and so let's see where we stand with things, right? So those are some of the realities of football, in my opinion. That football that we have to accept. And if I like it or you like it or we like it or not, a lot of things are about commercials. Do you consider Harpreet Gota as someone who can affect national team performance? Had basically talks with them. Harpreet, if you'd asked me 2 years ago, I would have said yes. Harpreet has been out for a while due to injury. Um, so that's also a fact. Um, and he has been without a club since last year. So therefore, I don't know where Harpreet stands. That would be a question to figure out. But to me, if Harpreet is fit, if he goes, could be an interesting midfield player for us. So do you think a national uniform are mature guys? I reply one guy that everyone is responsible for this from of Indian food. Any against to me, it's just blame on AIFF. No, they're not. Right? To me, that's a big problem. It's a big problem. It's a big problem. And Indian football fans blame everything on the AFF. And again, it's a system. The AFF, of course, is at fault, no doubt about it. But the clubs are at fault. Academies are at fault. Our coaches are the biggest problem. So if we don't recognize those things, yeah, let's see. Kata, you referred are getting many matches to represent India at the World Cup. Okay. Sorry, Kata, you referred are getting many chances and matches in the World Cup. Referees, you mean? Okay, Hitesh. Yeah. Can we have this project where we take our Indian kids to Europe like we did once with Dream Football? This would be good for us long run. Seven, the Dream Run project was a failure in the end, even though you'd say, oh, the one other player made it. Akash Mishra was probably the biggest example, but that project, the way they wanted to build it and the way they did it in the end, it was a complete disaster. But again, who's going to talk about it, right? Tried their stuff with Hoffenheim, then tried to do their stuff with Dortmund, and there was no structure, no idea, no understanding. So no, I don't think it is the model for us to go move forward. Jingan link with Muhammad Sidious. Yes, Raj, I've heard that link that's on this Jingan is being linked to. Thomas Vellot, 17-year-old Dylan Patel, 17. One is defensive midfielder, another one is proper number 10. Both are currently Belgium and Portugal since 17 starters. They won't get chance in the senior team. Yeah, the point is, that is the problem, no? It's like about Raul Kumar, who is a Croatia under 19, the 17-year-old, right? Sorry, 18-year-old now. Height 1 meter 91, center back. If we could build an Indian under 20, wow, with OCI boys, could be very impressive. In your opinion, how many years will it take for this sports passport to implement? 2 years or more than 3 years? So, Rava, again, I speak about this, and reminder not only to you, to other people as well. I did a video 5 days ago where I asked that question: how long will it take to implement the Indian sports passport? I answer that exact question. Um, Watch it. I think it answers your not only your simple queries, to so that's a thing. I said I think 2 years is the window that we need to look at, because I'm looking at the LA Olympics in 2028, which will be August. It's a corner for Austria, 29th minute. Marcel Sabitzer to take it. So a 2 year window, in my opinion, if you ask me. Simple question. But again, do watch, not only to you, but everyone, do watch the short videos. Give it a view. Spend 4, 5, 6 minutes where I try and talk about these things. Head it out again. Uh, how do you rate current South teams? Which are going to be our best teams? Who? Arjit, most probably Bangladesh is the strongest. And then the question is, how good are the others? Very difficult to say. SAF is going to happen later this year, and then we can have a conversation. If we ever plan to bring OCIs in ISL, did them the same as local players that will fill the squads with also improving the league quality. Bringing one or two per team would degrade them. I don't think that is a thing. Togo, there are not hundreds of OCIs who are there waiting and wanting to come to India. The project of OCIs coming in the past has also not worked in regard to the league system. The only success story is Arata Izumi. Everyone else has failed. So that is also a reality of this, right? So therefore, to me, I would not bring them to India. I would allow them to play where they are and then pick them for the national team. Sorry. Once a President Modi said we would give this back so many tours to Europe. Why we not give these tours to our coaches? Let's say it benefit us more than giving a one batch of players. Zigzag from a coach perspective, you might be right. But again, coaches have been given exposure to Europe over the last 40 years. What have they learned? So for me, that is all very nice. But if the coaches who learn things are not utilizing it, what's the use of that exposure? Right? We're not using it for our advantage. So those are realities. The idea is nice, but does it work? I don't see that. It seems also going to bring in second division in India and Nick is also ambition to yeah, Hitesh. He's been trying to, no? He was trying to get to East Bengal once in the past. Do you this sports council decision to take place in Parliament or Supreme Court? It should be not a part of none of the two, in my opinion. I think ideally it should be a decision by the government. Can we play OCI players for under 17 with current roles? Why not? Why not under 17s, under 20s? Again, women's. I'd watch your videos and even like and comment on those. Okay, thanks, Rao. That's why you were asking something which I answered 5 days ago. So therefore, chance for Argentina. Brilliant. Alaba does it for his keeper. We are hosting 2030 Commonwealth Games, right? So sports people are aware before that or they target LA 2028. Lele, that's what I'm saying. I spoke about it in detail in that video. Guys, watch it. I think it answers all your questions on this whole thing. Now, do you know everyone's saying that we will play World Cup? For me, my dream is just to see those 11 quality OCI players play for India. You don't know what kind of pain I suffer after watching this. Zigzag, you're not the only one. I think everyone loves Indian football and watches this has this pain. Sri Lanka gave Thailand a tough fight, almost beat them. Yeah, Orijit. Once people are saying India should leave SAF and join KAFA due to lack of competition of Bangladesh, surely competition for us. So why still cry? We don't have competition. It's good for SAF. It's good for SAF and it's a problem for us, right? So that's the problem. Is there a sports passport? Then they were saying, I say quota problem will not arise. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Same, I don't know. I don't want OCS to play. I say they're better off playing wherever they're playing. Yes, Tovo, that's the whole point. Um, yeah. Your opinion regarding Arate Izumi against this OCI passport, there's been an article published regarding this. I don't know. I thought Arata would be the one fighting for this in the name of the players. I'm a little surprised because he is the one who's gone through a lot of hardship. I don't know if it's bitterness or something, why he's against it, or that others have been giving facilities which he hasn't. And, yeah, so, um, yeah. So therefore, for me, I don't know. I'm a little surprised to be very honest. Before 2008 or 7, Olympic players can represent sports, right? Then some court case and they stopped, right? What happened at that time? They wanted to do it. My own person of Indian origin card in 2005, 2006 went to FIFA. FIFA was fine with it. The government of India wasn't. And yeah, and then there were court cases, as you say. And then especially tennis was hard hit because a lot of players were playing for the Davis Cup and Fed Cup. And Indian tennis has till date not recovered from that, right? That they had to abandon their origin players because a lot of Indian players who went to America um, didn't got US passports and were traveling on the ATP and WTA tour. So that's a reality. Good game between Argentina and Austria. Match in phases where Austria actually is bothering the Argentinians. Very interesting to see. Very interesting game. How do you rate New Zealand? Are they better than Qatar? Canada 6-0 win an upset. I don't know if Canada 6-0 is an upset or not, but again, the game, you have these kind of matches, right, where the game goes the way it does, and then suddenly, boom, 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 the goals happen. And from that perspective, yeah, it was the way it was. And New Zealand, most probably similar level to Qatar, maybe a little less. Most probably I would rate Qatar higher than New Zealand, if you ask me that way. I know you know that the entire sports passport plan has been done and will be implemented very soon. Okay, Hannibal. Sir, if ISL is starting from 4th September, why are we seeing 4 5 clubs in the market? What others are doing, especially my club, Chennai FC. Aram, the problem is the ISL dates have been announced by the AIFF, but the clubs are still not in it, right? Um, and uh, and so therefore, the clubs are waiting to understand what the structure is, and then a lot of the clubs. So most of the clubs, again, East Bengal, not even 4 or 5. I think East Bengal, Mohun Bagan have done some deals. Northeast United have done a deal for Brahmveer, but otherwise the market is very very quiet. Why Bangladesh can beat India? Why can India beat Bangladesh or even Pakistan? I think Madhya Bhutan is still below India. Or Jit. We'll have to wait and see. I don't know, I can't tell. As you said, you are talking about something which, again, I beat A and B, and then because B with C, it works, right? It doesn't work that way. Sorry, can we actually win multiple medals at the Olympics if we allow our desperate help and entrepreneurs? Like, apart from football, what sports were affected the most positively? Um, for me, the problem here is that I honestly I don't know enough, um, and it's very dirty football the Argentinians are playing, and the referee is allowing it to go on. Again, poor refereeing at the World Cup, right? This is the highest level. Some of the referees are not worth it, and yeah, and Austrian player down, but the Argentinians are continue to play. Uh, right, Kegovic just gonna get up. Terrible, terrible. So, yeah, Sham, to me, yeah, that's a yellow card from Romero. That's a yellow card. Hand on the head, you're pushing him down. You know, you know, the South Americans play a style of football which I just don't like. Right, so it's not about football. It's anyway. Let's not get into this thing. So, will you do commentary of us? I really loving listening to you always unbiased. I would be open to it. It's for whoever runs the league to come out and say, Arunava, would you be interested or not? So, I wouldn't mind. Next time you meet guys, please tell them to push the number of matches in June, sub-June. That would be very necessary. Togo, who am I to tell the AFF to push these things? Right? Sorry. I can say it. You can say it. Even other people can say it. There are a lot of things in and around the AFF, right? You know, and yeah, that's the thing. So was Leonard Pace one Boston tennis Indian citizen origin? Indian citizens, exact. Born in Kolkata, son of Dr. Vesat Pace. And Messi scores 38th minute. Argentina lead. Lionel Messi scores. Yeah. According to Arata, also is not sustainable for countries to parachute players in. So now it's working. No? If you look at Morocco as the best example, even countries across Europe, Africa, Asia, it's working. So I don't get that point. And Indian football is so bad at this moment in time. Even if we do the right things tomorrow, which we aren't. So that's the first premise. If we would do the right thing tomorrow, it will take us 20, 30, 40 years to get it sorted. Right? If I want to fast track the OCI route, and once the OCIs come in, it will go to a different level. Is working as a coach. He's working with Rising Stars in Pune, I think is the club's name. Is Yanza playing next UCL? No, he's not playing UCL. European teams are so tough. Even Bangladesh with their best side struggled against San Marino. Says Arjit. OCI is sustainable. Let them put them in whole setup of national team. Then it will, as in long term, then it's a benchmark for Indian players that you have quality on the ball. You will be selected. Yeah, very true. It's exact. The quality rises. With sports passport and football, we can reach round 3, but the sports that really transform will be basketball. They can easily cakewalk to World Cup. I don't know if that's a cakewalk or not, but that's why I say I don't know enough about other sports to be able. I know basketball will be. I guess tennis could be a beneficiary. Yeah, a lot of sports. Most of the things to reduce the foreigners and ISL fans are not excited to watch local players. Give miss passes due to more foreigners. There's always a fight for spots, says Raj. Yeah, very true. Doesn't guys are not really filming against the referee. I ain't seeing anything of this in World Cup. I've seen this a lot in this World Cup. I don't know why you're not seeing it because there have been referees, especially the South American ones are not good enough. Yeah, a lot of pushing, shoving going on. Let's see that again. Yeah, that's not even a contact. Where is the foul? Terrible. Yeah, it's poor football. And FIFA is not going to act on it. That's the other problem. And again, um, the referee is poor. It's a bad standard. And look at the behavior of the Argentinians. One tight slap in the face would be the right. Sorry to say that. I shouldn't use that language, but that's the only way that they do it. Stefan Posch was also not fine, but again, they're doing it now because the referees allowed this to get to this level. And this is you guys criticize. We criticize referees at Indian level. Look at this is a World Cup. Look at the standard of the refereeing. The refereeing is pathetic, right? And he's allowing Argentina to get away with this. It's a steal. I think instead of OCA, etc., India should not consider ultra defensive homegrown talent. Surely AIFF qualified Indian coaches, right? All this talk of good end-to-end football is a luxury. Where are the good coaches? Arijit, where does this good coaches coming in? Right? West Bengal government announced new international standard stadium in North Bengal. Yeah. They're announcing a lot of things at the moment. Let's see what becomes reality, what not. Messi moving like a prime Messi at 37. I don't know if it's moving like a prime Messi. The situation doesn't arrive if the free kick is given for Austria. That's the problem, right? The penalty was gifted. Sorry, doesn't work for me. When I'm from Kerala, yeah, Ambidjan is the commentator. He's literally a joke with zero ball knowledge. And I realized that this guy's a technical director. He's not technical director, he's head of the technical committee. Surely, and there's no qualified coaches in India. Arijit, there are a few, but not too many. Wonder why Arat is against OCA. Is it because of the grudge? Because he had to give up his Japanese citizenship? Because no, it's not about. I don't think it's about giving up Japanese citizenship. I think for Arata, the grudge is that it took him so long to get it, and he's not overcome that. My perspective said the best plan for grassroots program is that the program, like Nopang League in every football loving state, and let's target only 4 to 5 states and do best work in that district. Zigzag, yeah, but again, Nopang League also, as good as they are, right? I've sadly not seen it myself, right? Um, but I need to see the results in the next 5 years coming out of that. Right, somewhere in Japan also initially used the origin players to increase their level. No, right. They didn't use origin players. They used foreigners who were playing in Japan to play for them. They now using origin players like Zion Suzuki, for example, their goalkeeper who is playing at Parma, is born in New York, right? To um, Japanese father and a Ghanaian mother. So everyone is doing it. When refereeing is biased, these clashes will increase. At this point, just give Arjun the World Cup. Yeah, yeah. Is he going to give a foul? Yeah. He's going to give a foul for Austria, but you're going to pull up a card? No, you're not. Romano Schmid. As a Matthew fan, so happy I witnessed this big moment. So happy Messi highest goal scorer in World Cup history. Yeah, but Shangat is gifted, right? The real highest goal scorer remains Miroslav Klose. That was not yellow to Austrian player. Yeah, but Aman, what to say? It's a joke. Now all conspiracy theories will come. Messi is FIFA. Yeah, Raj, it will. But again, it's on them, and the referee is not good enough. Sorry. And yeah. Is this Argentina tactics or was it in this ground? I would slap the ball. He's behaving like a gangster that too in front of referee. Yeah, that's the problem, right? And that's not him. Look at some of the movements from the Uruguayans. Look at some movements from the Brazilians, from the Paraguayans. It's that they don't play football; they fight. People ridicule our Gen X, Ambition, Bachumanchi are legends. They are legends, Arijit, but legends playing. That doesn't mean that they're legends in other things, right? So, yeah, what to say? Our boss is doing a wonderful job with passionate. We should take off hats to him. Yeah, Hitesh doing great job, but the problem is also that what can you do? And that's another foul. Yeah, but still no yellow card. But again, rugby, I don't know where the ceiling is. It was literally we have like Babu's typical government job. I don't think that is the case, Raj. But again, that's his, what is it? We're tactical, pathetic. Every resources have good referee, teach them a lesson. Yeah, but so many football academies here. What are you doing then? Not the right things. So I think our system isn't the worst in the world with decent coaches and more matches throughout the age group. We could be doing a lot better. Would you agree? No, I wouldn't. Let's encourage Kunina to his matchable discipline to those agents. Yeah, we would. We talk about producing quality players. What about coaches? Coaches are producing players. What are they teaching to kids? Big question. That's the whole point. That's the whole problem. My question from Arata would be simple. Since a coach at right now, there's the quality players. The whole point of overseas being raised as Indian coaches aren't able to produce quality talents. Yeah, very true. Very, very true. So Rama, that's the whole problem of the discussion, right? To me, that's the huge problem of the discussion and conversation in regard to our talents. You know, so that's the problem. That's the issue. Is it true Qatar pays referees at Asian Cups? They really struggled against India and all teams they could beat India at home. Or is it no? Again, if so, if we will slap most of the Argentine. Again, Lautaro Martinez, Lima very unhappy with the referee. Having a go at the ref. Let's see that again. Lautaro Martinez loses the ball. Elbows, and on the head. He's hitting him on the head. It's not getting a yellow card. Are you kidding me? Terrible, terrible, pathetic, pathetic. In this way, Messi may end up getting golden boot, highest goal scorer of all times, and whatever, blah blah. Indian youngsters still lack the basic foot even at 15 years old. European so under 17s and 19s. Yeah. So that's the problem. All pros, HSBC style. That's nice, Raj. But the problem is that then I can bring XYZ sponsor, no? But if people are not watching, it won't grow, right? So the problem is for me, the great job that Rahul, the people at GMR, and all other people involved are doing, it's not helping. No? It's not helping the growth of rugby, right? In a way which needs to happen exponentially, and that's the issue. So welcome to that world, right? So that's the problem that you have, and that's the reality of things. The referees from Qatar, no, it's referees from Egypt. Arjun literally hitting Australian players and not getting yellow cards. Now it's again, and you guys talk about ISL referees, right? So yeah, but Lord Kalyan hasn't able to brought us out a hero left. Raj, listen, uh, uh, Rahul has done a lot of things right, but the question is, and he's got a great product. Um, but again, are people watching it? Again, from what I know, people didn't bother in Mumbai last year at the Mumbai Football Arena about it. How good are China in football compared to India? Has North Korea progressed in soccer? They're top four in Asia and qualified. Origit, North Korea in the women's game are one of the top sides. They're under 17, under 20 world champions. So, yes, in the men's game, they aren't. And so, men's game, non starter. And on the other side, China seems to be progressing at youth level. So, let's wait and see. Maybe they're better than India, surely. Their structure of the league, infrastructure, camps, this, that, everything, CFA better. Own problems post COVID. Let's be very clear about that. But let's see. Messi can't even pass. Yeah, again, scored a brilliant goal, so I think that clears it. If I'm frustrated like this against Australia, imagine how frustrated this Australian man. My blood is boiling. Yeah, welcome. The only thing that Indian football needs that are quality coaches and end of age fraud. I think if it is a problem, Indian grassroots system will be solved. Zigzag, yes, but no, because sorting out the coaches issue is not an easy one. How are you going to get thousands of coaches who are in the system or not? You know, I know there must be some good ones in the system which you and I don't know, but how are you going to get it to the next level? And that's the whole challenge at the moment, huh? Now fans, Messi's washed play, he missed penalty. Yeah, Raj. Some will say, but again, if you see the goal, that was Lionel Messi quality, right? So that's the thing, um, um, which is insane to see. Yeah, football fans like to keep bashing it, but don't realize the entire system is corrupt, starting from the grassroots up. So now the question of corruption comes second, right? Which is a problem on its own. The problem is knowledge, quality, and understanding, right? There is no accountability. There is no introspection across the system, right? People create stories. There are fake accounts on Instagram selling people what Indian football is about, you know? And so therefore, those some of these things are crazy, right? So to me, some of the stuff, you know, if you think about it, is insane to think, you know? And it is, I don't know where we will end up, but yeah, those are some realities, and that makes it very difficult, very hard to think about it, right? So let's see. Jeff has not been able to progress in hockey, both in men's and women's hockey, playing for a long time. Mukesh, I wouldn't know enough, right? You know, Virgin Reddy said TFA players did age fraud, which many don't know. Raj, in those days, age fraud was rampant. So again, it's not, and I think most of the people who were around, and it's halftime, 1-0 to Argentina. So again, these truths, though again, it might be for social media, it might be a truth. But again, Pratyum also then has to answer the question is, hey, what have you produced? You were Dempo at a long time, right? What did you produce a Dempo yourself? You can criticize other people, but none of these people will question their own work, right? Or their own track record, right? I did that at Mumbai City. I was unhappy after season one with the team that I put together. I would have said, hey, listen, we can win the ISL. We didn't even get in the playoffs. What did I do at the end of the season? Sign my own letter, resigning. Thank you very much. Tata, bye bye. I'm leaving. Right? I could have waited for maybe the owners would have said, we didn't like you and whatever. You could have fired me, but I left because I was not happy. These people have no accountability, no introspection, and no shame. That is the biggest problem that we should be speaking about. On social media, and football fans are constantly bashing guys like he's solely responsible for the state of info. That's the problem. Are there any Nepalese players playing in Europe? North Korean men, 2022, they almost beat Brazil. How come unstarted? They fight with Japan, very strong defense team in England. 2010, not 2002. Nepalese players, yes, there are some Nepalese origin boys in the UK. Are you watching World Cup via ARD ZDF or Magenta TV? Roshan, mainly to Magenta TV. I feel that coverage is better. Better. It's not old school. Only hope is OCIs now, they would lead to more money coming into the system. Global, I think, yes, that would be one of the things. So, do you know, I see a team that playing in open league and Instagram. I see their coaches are just focused on dribbling rather than ball mastery and ball shielding age groups under 6 to under 10s. Zigzag, again, I don't want to comment on Nopang League as much as I see and hear a lot of good things. But again, do I know enough about it? No, I don't. What do we expect from our coaches? Nothing much. There are some good ones, but again, Japan beats Pakistan in hockey. They're second or third best after India, South Africa hockey zone. Again, Ojit, as I said just now to Hitesh, don't know enough about hockey to be able to comment on it. Other Dada, as the H1 producer, not so much. Though I think it's still rampant. It is still there. Maybe it's a little less. I wouldn't have figures, so I can't quantify it. Did you watch Ashit Niki video on Nupang League? Zorafa, no, I actually want it. It's on my list, but I have to watch it. People know one name and keep bashing him. That is Kalyan Chop. What about M. Satya, NRS, technical committee? Technical committee. Yeah, ISL clubs, IFL, uh, academies, coaches, the whole system. It is not. Kalyan is at the top. He's part of the problem, right? But the rest of the system is also a problem. Mm. I was watching Belgium versus Iran at Magenta for the data-based view. Very, very cool. Yeah, yeah. I use that as well. Roshan, that's a great new invention by them. Yes, China qualified 2002, not North Korea, my bad. Yeah. Rivera is so biased towards Argentina. All calls in favor of Argentina. Romero, elbow striker, no yellow, but yellow for Austria player. Yeah, Romero, and then that situation with uh, um, Connie Lima as well, and um, so those are some of the realities we have to sort of grapple with. As I said, most of the coaches don't do that ball mastery and ball shielding drills from honestly. They just say kick the ball and all that. Yeah, exactly. That's the problem. So you said Bangladesh cricket is most popular, but once Bangladesh came, the picture changes. Imagine if Yandanda comes even in ISL and do similar things like Ryan Williams. Few things will change. No, coming to the ISL again is not going to change things. It will be a big story, yes, surely. But to me, Prasanjit, Hamza has done it because Hamza is playing for the national team, and it created a national hype in Bangladesh. And then again, if you look at the results have not been outstanding for Bangladesh. You know, people are hyping Japan in this group match, but Tunisia is a shambles and Japan playing good group stage, nothing special. They have to make next step in winning knockout matches. Roshan, very, very well said. Very, very well said. Because to me, that is I think Japan's biggest problem. They've been getting out of the out of the group stage, but they've never been able to do something big in the knockouts, and yeah, that's a reality. So therefore, for me, if they can do that, so reality. Taking down here number 8. Yes, even I mean, we've been playing football, not playing football, right? You mean number 9, Zabitzer. Number 8 is Alaba with short hair captain. Correct. So given both men's and women's, they don't use origin players, local coaches. Raj, they drill their players, right? And I don't know enough. Nobody knows enough because nobody's in the system in North Korea to understand how they do it. But yeah. Tunisia is one of the best African teams, can be, but at the moment they're in shambles. This is AIFF is changing name to FFP. Won't it require crores to now replace the name from everywhere, including jerseys? Yes, Suraba said that also in my video yesterday, that is a huge problem. Zamas is kicked from it. Yes, he's been kicked. Gregovic has been hit on the head. Again, and the penalty is a joke, right? Shava Schlager clears the ball cleanly. But North Korea beat Italy, almost beat Brazil 2010, lost to Portugal. They're more tougher than India. Yeah. Yesterday, looking at Saudi really made me think about our words when you said Asian teams are Can you hear me again? Huh? Now. Okay. Yes. Okay. Thanks. I don't know. I had to restart uh, um, the app, so to say, for StreamYard. Maybe there was a problem. I don't know. Oh, where was the last thing that you could hear? Can you let me know? Where was this? Let me start with North Korea's success. Yes, we spoke about it. Tunisia, one of the best African teams, yeah, but at the moment in shambles. I said, if a changing name goes to Zorava, I said that in the video that I did yesterday. That it's to me, it's one of those things that needs to be thought about, which is insane. How much money they have to spend on that. Sabitzer kicked from behind. Yes, Sabitzer got kicked. Fouls on the heads of the Austrians, and yeah, Bernard Capitas was Brazil 20 lost to Portugal. They are very much tougher. Yes, they are most probably. In the South, they really made me think about your words that said Asian teams are digressing. Sure, there are teams, Japan, South Korea seem to be progressing at a world stage, but there seems to be a problem when they play Asian competitions. And so for me, that's something which we need to see. But when the Saudis, the Qataris, Jordan, Uzbekistan are play at a world level, they're not good enough, right? Australia, sometimes not, but that's also reality. For John, it will be the biggest exposure ever to play Argentina. No, it's not percentage. Just to play the World Cup is going to be the greatest thing. I know that some football fans would say, "Oh, Argentina this, Argentina that." The hype is quite big, but for Jordan to just play those three matches are great. And look at the way they played against Austria. In the football team, first time in the history, got a merit senior under 70, under 20, under 17, and one in 10 knockouts. So first time we have to build on a little momentum for first time. Yeah, Hitesh, how are you going to build on that momentum? What exposure are you giving those girls? What are you doing? It's not happening, right? If we double the U13, U15, and 17 matches, hypothetically speaking, would that make a difference or not? So no. Tobo, how are you doubling the matches? What's the criteria? Just doubling matches doesn't make sense. We have to play in round one World Cup qualifiers. Yes, Prosenji, what is gifted? How is it biased? I mean, was there not penalty? How can you say this without any reason? Just says biasness. I think not unfair. Nothing unfair. Shonata. So you're telling me it was a penalty? Wow. Just see, you know, who's playing the ball and how, and then yeah, reality. Even German win against Ivory Coast. You think Undaf should start against Ecuador? They might play deep defense against Germany. Roshan, I think the subs on the hour mark against Ivory Coast were brilliant by Julian Nagelsmann. Again, I don't think it'll work every day. Um, but um, but again, Germany are through. The question for Nagelsmann now is: Do I play players who have had little time or maybe no time? Do I rest my first team, or do I, never change a winning team? Maybe one or two changes. So yeah, North Korea train their players like militaries and this and players they don't get players. Again, that's what people say. Do you know or do we know? No, I don't know. USA will easily beat this Belgium side. People talk about that 16 say I think Belgium was easy. And how do you say that they will beat them easily? Yeah. The pics of Messi doing foul, the pictures of Messi doing foul opening match went viral. If you can give any card to fans that should be read, is Messi really FIFA son? I don't know if he's FIFA son or not, but that was a foul and that was a red card. So and the question to me is that I know that in the leagues you can hand cards, but that has never happened. Why did the so-called savior wing your focus find division case against youngsters on Insta? Yeah. Austria missed the chance. This match reminds me of the Netherlands match last year. Yeah, or Netherlands, was it Netherlands? Who was this? Netherlands, Portugal, right? With this the most yellow cards and red cards ever in the game. Vana trying to, yeah. Argentina clear. Halil Anzitab said Turkey played naive. You agree? Yeah, yeah, most probably. Russian Messi scored, yes. Uh, um, FFB from AIFF is just how all kinds of elections are won in India. Don't do real work during the tenor, but when elections come, just please people. Don't hate it, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, maybe that's was the problem. Okay. Uh, Hi, Rushabh. Magenta contest. There was a foul before Argentina goal. Yeah, but where is the foul? Again, if you watch it again and again, you don't see it. I don't see it. But still, the Austrian player clearly countered with led Messi sliding, and second player was contact too. That more to give penalty. How it could not be? Where is the foul on Lautaro Martinez? Schlager clears the ball, right? Right. We have any say in upcoming AIFF elections? No, we're not. I have nothing to do with AIFF elections. What we're saying knockout stage, Portugal, Netherlands was a card. Yes, card. That was the one, right? I was there that day. It was insane. So yeah, now the Austrians going there. Sava Schlager with the foul against Messi. Yeah, brings him down. Clean foul. And it's no problem for me. It's subjective. Okay. For me, it's not subjective. It's objective. If it's a foul, it's not a foul. Right. There's a clean way of doing it. And the Argentinians are fight. I mean, this is how South American football is, right? Don't tell me that it's great and all that stuff. So, you know, um, this is the thing. If Praful Patel wins upcoming election, will be good in your opinion? Many informers are against Praful, don't want someone fresh. You know? Um, I don't know what will happen. Praful Patel has shown in recent weeks in his involvement in regard to you know, and um, that he has influence, that he can exert influence, help Indian football like other people can't. That's the reality, and yeah, we'll have to wait and see. To me, that is something that he adds, and again, I do not go by what people as fans say. For me, the question is what is best for Indian football. If Jesha would have been FIFA president, he would have kept Argentina, Portugal in the same group and make sure they face each other at further stage. Yeah, Raj. Yeah. What was your worst game at this World Cup? Boah. Have I seen a worst game so far? Um, Honestly, worst game. I haven't seen a worst game so far. Honestly thinking, I don't know what has anyone got a worst game so far? It's human decision. It could be accidental, it could be intent, never know. So anyone needs to go from wise. Shonata, it is never accidental. If I'm using VR, my first question is, did the referee make a mistake? Right? And this is again, we need to go back to the premise. And this is why I say always, it's always a question. Wow, Messi with the counter, and he was offside. So yeah, no, no. So I'm good, Vikram. Good to see you back. Stuff's going on same path, buying players with high money. What's your opinion, Vikram? They've not learned anything, no. On one side, you're cribbing that your expenses are too high. On the other side, you're willing to still pay those high salaries, sign players on exorbitant money. Um, so that's to me is a problem, or was a problem, is a problem, and yeah, and that's an issue, right? So um, yeah, they haven't learned anything. Interesting that Michael West has humble stats as coach of World Cups. Yeah. Again, and this is something that sometimes the World Cup or these kind of competitions, again, you might be a good club coach. Are you then a good coach at international level? Again, the same question that I've asked about Manolo or about Khalid can be asked potentially about Bielsa, no? Right? I think Bielsa most probably is a better club coach because he needs to work with his players week in, week out. In my opinion, Mexico is South Africa's worst given the number of red cards. So it was, yeah. The red card thing is again, those three red cards can be given, right? So from that perspective, it doesn't have to be given because the Brazilian referee was a little harsh, because the line has been softened in the last few days. But it wasn't a bad game. So that's my point. Is like, have I seen a game which is really disappointing to say the least? Messi goes down again, and Schlager is like, "Hey, guy, what did I do?" Very interesting reaction from the Australian midfield. Let's see. Yeah. So that's that's the problem with saying, "Oh, this game was this game was that." Again, it's I've not had again. I've not, and off to be also some of the late or early matches I've not watched. Also, I have to be honest this time around. Um, so therefore, that's the thing. And so I saw your cricket was football video. Indians should be in general be proud what Philippines have built up in cricket. I mean, India being associated outside with cricket is not the worst thing. Yeah, is it the worst thing? Is it the bad thing? I don't know. Um, to me, it is something which is a bit of a thing. Um, mm, I don't know. It can be interpreted differently in the sense of, that the ills of Indian sports are blamed on cricket, which I don't think should be. But to me, the bigger problem is here. Uh, um, there are certain problems in regard to Indian sports. Again, the IPL has set certain standards. Everyone's trying to copy it, including the Indian Super League has, and it's not worked. Um, Too much of money has been paid into cricket in regard to media rights, which even cricket now cannot recoup. But that has sucked the money out of the system. That's the reality. So those are things, no? Hi, Nixon. Welcome back. If it's still, I say very well for all these years. If it's difficult, the duty for me. But what about clubs? What they did in all those years? How many players did lose their own first or nothing? Yeah, Vikram, that's the reality. And you see how the clubs and the AIFF organize the ISL. Said, do you think any young should play futsal to be more technical with the ball? What's your perspective? Zigzag, if you are in Brazil, if and Conrad Lima wants a yellow card. Let's see that again. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. We can talk about that as well. Cristian Romero. It's not the first time. And multiple Austrian players speaking with the referee. Marcel Sabitzer with the free kick. Now it's unhappy with the situation. So futsal can be an addition, but the way that you play futsal in India is not, it enhances your technical abilities. Again, Nixon, but basis on a coach, people look at revolutionary coach. Yeah, but Roshan, difficult. I know German players who came from futsal to football. Yeah, there are very few, but there are a few. Any changes in AIFF to accommodation, still Kalyan will win. Narendra, no idea. We'll have to wait and see. The former Schalke player who's in the current German team came from futsal in youth. Leroy Sane? I don't know what you mean. Sir, my father is a big cricket fan. He played a lot of cricket in young age and after marriage also. But I said to him to see football world, say 4 to 5 morning. He loves this game. That's brilliant, right? To me, that's brilliant. Zigzag. If your father is willing to watch football, be engrossed in it, loving it, enjoying it. So from that perspective, always great to see that. And yeah, if people enjoy football, I'm always up for it, always happy for it. But let's wait and see what happens. Right, 2 hours. Quick reminder: if you haven't, please give this video a like. And share with others. And if you haven't, do subscribe to the channel. We stand at 4,560. So yes, 440 more subscription on foot, 22 likes on this video. And then we will reach the next level. Mm, you think this FFB actually implemented? At the moment, it looks like that. And yeah, that will be given as a foul. Earlier one not given again. So therefore, Rushabh, it looks like it, but again, it seems to be a lot of. I don't know if the there's been not the social media backlash is one part, but there's been a lot of backlash within Indian football amongst people who work and operate in Indian football. Yeah, Nicolas Otamendi coming on for Romero, who just picked up a yellow card, and so therefore, if you ask me, maybe the FFB thing because of the opposition from people within Indian football might be something which might be injured. You know, with football fans, India only play blame game, blame these, them. What about when we won away with COVID? We need only to be Afghanistan. We lost from those same players didn't have. Vikram, we you support your team irrespective of results, winning or losing, right? So that's the first thing we need to understand. Um, Also, players didn't get credit for it, right? Manveer Singh, did he get credit for scoring that goal? No, he said a lot of people, oh, was very lucky, this, that, everything. So therefore, I don't know. It's been a problem. How do you go about getting football coaching license in India? Nixon, reach out to your local district or city FA, figure out what they're offering, and then get into a D license. Back in 2016, when India played in Mumbai, after like 60 years, I took my father to Puerto Rico game and he became a Chetri fan for a while. As always, his interest just faded away. Yeah, but Rishabh, that's the problem, right? And that is not a problem of Indian football again. And this is a mentality issue. Sorry, that if it was always about winning, then I would have never started watching or supporting Indian football. Sorry, right? The successes are very few and very rare. So it's not about success. You support your team, your club, especially in failure. And that's the reality. So according to you, we have to improve our skills in futsal very much. So this increase our skills and techniques. Futsal is potentially yes, but the question to me is, and the problem here is a different one. Do we have the futsal level of playing? Right, we don't. Right, we don't have the competitions. We don't have the futsal is played on either on hard concrete, or it's played in indoor ground. So that's the thing. Any inside news, sir? When will Khalid be sacked? Vikram, Khalid will not be sacked. I don't know where you guys are getting it from, but to me, as far as I know, Khalid Jamil at the moment, no conversations of any sacking of any kind happening, to be very honest with you. So Khalid is going to stay. Khalid will not resign. And yeah, those are realities of things. If I like it or you like it. Honestly, I don't even like the idea of national anthem in the league itself. I think only Syria has that, but why are players are against playing each other? What's the point besides nationalism? Um, I agree with you. I don't see the value of it. I think no, Syria. That would be. I don't know. Does Syria play Italian anthems? I don't think so. Um, I know the US has it. MLS has it. Um, but yeah, but it makes no sense. We need Steven Isab in our national teams. Vikram, he's coach of Rwanda. Steven is not coming back at the moment. Is Khalid salary lower than Lord's team match? Yes, Rushabh. A lot lower. There's no termination clause in Khalid's contract, so unlikely he will be sacked. Even if they want, even if there was the will, if there was a will, maybe they would. But I've not seen a will from the AFF to sack Khalid Jamil. I've not seen any movements in that way. So therefore, the conversation also doesn't start on that on that context, right? So Khalid Jamil at the moment is staying. Khalid is himself not changing. If anyone expects Khalid to be a different coach, a different way of playing this, that, everything, I've said that from the start when Khalid Jamil was being discussed as a coach. Khalid is an ultra defensive coach and he will stay like that. So yeah, if people want to stay in their respective bubbles and say, oh, this and that will happen, sorry, none of that reality is going to kick in. And if we like it or not, those are the what's our future with Khalid? It's a problem, right? Um, yeah. I wonder if they sack Khalid, but are they in a position to hire someone like Steven who has experience nationally management? Worship, theoretically, yes. So to me, they could, yeah. Jyoti Chauhan going to Israel. Yeah, good for her. Let's see what she does. No, Zigzag. I worked for them on a couple of projects, but yeah, but no, no, I don't. So therefore, for me, yeah, those are realities. If I like it, you like it, we like it or not, we have to live with them. And slowly, slowly, um, I want to come to an end. What's the ghost of Balewadi? Rishabh, don't know. What's the ghost of Balewadi? In Pune, right? No idea. Julian Alvarez and Nico Gonzalez getting ready to come on. I don't know what the ghost of Balewadi is. So we need you in AIFF. Thanks, Vikram, for the trust, the belief in me. But it's not my decision to get into the AIFF or something. Yeah, that's for other people to decide. And looks like sacking Steamhatch was a blunder. No, it wasn't. Why was it a blunder? So um, it was never a blunder. It should have happened earlier. And the right coach should have been put in. That's the blunder. So you come to the with the yes, I was working at the time with TSG Hoffenheim on that project, on the India project, and yeah, uh, we came to India, Aizawl, Kolkata, and Goa. Ashish, maybe often quotes it. Also heard from Pratim Prashab. Never, honestly, they've quoted it. I don't know what the ghost of Balewadi is supposed to be. I've never heard it. Just thinking, I never heard it. What are the chances you applying for any post with the AIFF? Narendra, I did, right? Earlier this year when the ISL league commissioner position was up for grabs, I did apply. And actually, I was applied because there were multiple clubs who spoke to me and said, I should come forward and apply. Um, so therefore, for me, I did. I got into the final three. And yeah, AFF or the clubs didn't want to appoint or didn't appoint anyone in the end. So I live with it, right? Good night and pray OCA passport approved. SMA Azra will take time. So you're also OCA, then there is possibility. Let's see zigzag. I heard first time about, yeah, I've not heard about Balawadi. Watching you from long time ago, you said everything pinpoint accurate when everyone is saying I will happen. You were the only one saying it will not happen, no talks going on, etc. No, Vikram, I say what I know, right? I don't say everything. I'm not into the breaking news business also. That's not I'm not a Marcus, I'm not an Ashish, I'm not whoever else is there out there. For me, if news comes out, we can talk about it, I discuss it, so let's see. So what is also all I know is reference to some dark arts of Khalid. Okay. Not sure. Okay. Now I'm fed up from food, just think that they don't deserve support from hardcore Indian football. No, Satyam, they do deserve support from hardcore fans. I think, sir, you should go for grassroots promo. No, zigzag. I'm not an expert in grassroots, so that's not it. Okay. I just think that if we don't question if an in sports minister would also appear, then we can't get into World Cup. Satyam, what is the influence of the fans in regard to that question? Did you know that for the last year that the government and the IOA was working on the, um, 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 that we will look at things in a different way. And yeah, I don't know. So please do podcast. Ashish Bhai will wait for your podcast. Yes, I will surely do something with Ashish. I think a lot Casey is just too desperate. His tenure is about to end. The problem might just make a comeback. Honestly, his position doesn't even look good on BGP itself. Maybe not. Right? To me, does Prabhu Patel want to come back? Brother already mentioned Ghost of Balawadi because Khalid Jimmy played with Mumbai. Said Balawadi is same Mumbai, same like the national team right now. Okay, yeah, but then it's not Ghost of Balawadi, then it's the Ghost of Khalid Jimmy. As it's proven they're not good enough as administrators, especially people like Shabir Ali, Ambijan, Shabir Pasha, Kalyan Chaube, Maj Kohli, Kazim Jimmy are legends of fraud. They're not fraud. They know certain things, and then there's a lack of knowledge, Arman, right? So Again, there might be the one that was fraud, but there's a lack of knowledge, right? And that's a global thing. It's if as per your logic, because Armando Maradona wasn't a good coach, Armando Maradona is a fraud, right? So, or Pele was a fraud, as per your logic, right? Supporting was 17, watching every ISL Indian match, spending thousands of dollars, but what possibility is limited is over. Satyam, I've been supporting Indian football since 2000, sorry, since 1998, right? And if you're saying you spend thousands of dollars, if I add up with flights, this, that, everything, not just watching, trying to do stuff, trying to sort out, I've spent crores, which Indian football will never be able to repay. So that's realities. So can you prefer any good person that best technical youth director? Prefer, refer, yeah, could. Zigzag. Surely. Right. 2 hours, nearly 12 minutes on this live. I'll slowly come to an end on this Monday evening as Argentina are still leading 1-0 against Austria, 67 minutes played. Um, you know, yeah. So that's the reality. Arman, I'll take this as the last one. I respect the achievement as player, but as an administrator, they're bad. They have zero awareness of modern football. They're still in the 1960s and 70s. Arman, being an ex-player doesn't mean you will be good in coaching, administration, or anything else. You were good on the field, right? So that does not mean that you will be good as someone off the field, right? And there have been lots of former footballers around the world. Um, you know, um, so that's the reality. No Indian legend players like speak on the condition of Indian forward now. Why? As going bad face because Sachin Dhoni have spoken locally, which is good. Satyam, don't compare cricket and football. Don't make those comparisons. Yeah, it should change format as 10 teams get eliminated after just playing 2 games or qualifiers. Yeah, maybe it should. And they will meet OSEC quota should have been optional for clubs. We could treat OSEC or as domestic players. It should be completely optional. Only incentivize the clubs. No, it doesn't. I don't think it's a good move. I would not bring OSI players to play. I want them to play. I've said this, play wherever they are. Good night, Rishabh. Can you name them so if listens? No, Zigzag I could, but they will not listen. We're not going to watch whole. I am going to watch the whole match, Aman, but I'm ending this live. So I'm ending this live. Um, you know, um, and interview announcer, Aman, it's not about fools. I know Shabir Bhai, Shabir Da, however you want to call him, for over 30 years, right? Or close to 30, not over, or close to 30 years. He used to be, in the late 90s, early 2000s, used to be the best Indian coach, right? But if you listen to him, he's stuck, as you say rightly, 60s, 70s, sometimes maybe on a good day in the 80s. And that's the problem, right? So therefore, for me, reality, right? Kalyan said in World Cup to watch World Cup matches with our budget money. Or why media don't ask why India's not in World Cup from Kalyan. What your budget money? So this is also a thing, right? Is he going on your money? No, he's not. Satyam, he's an invitee of FIFA. So as an AIFF president, there are meetings and all stuff. So his money is paid for by FIFA. It's not your money. It's not my money. Yeah. We should have age limit of 20 years for national side next World Cup. Okay. I don't know why. Someone that I tried that his name go to that person to a point. No, it's not gonna happen. Gopal Pacha post a story about that he's happy that people are asking from AIFF why India's not World Cup and awareness spread. No, it's not spreading. Satyam, this question is asked every 4 years. And this question has been asked as long as I've been following Indian football. Every 4 years, this question is asked. And with that, 2 hours, 15 minutes, I'll end this live. I'll catch you tomorrow or day after. Thanks a lot. Like, share, and subscribe Arun Foot on YouTube. Watch my short videos, support me, and let's keep on growing the Arun Foot community. Thanks and good night.